What's up, everybody? Boy, have I been busy with Chaos 2 orders. Just communicating about it has been so much work than I expected. We have quite a lot of orders in. It'll take me at least a couple weeks to fulfill these orders, even with the handful that I already have done. So it's going well. That's a good problem to have. Let's see how my audio. So if I turn my audio to a kind of comfortable level, down right there, and then let's see. Sounds like everybody's hearing the music okay based on what it shows. Oh, did I make a mistake? Is this not Chaos 4? I may have typed. What's next? Chaos 20? No, it is Chaos 4, right? He's got the two hands. Yeah, he's Chaos 4. I thought you were... For some reason, for a moment, I was thinking, like, oh, is it... Did I mix up, like, 3 and 4? Because 3 doesn't exist. Alright, well, welcome, Heiko. This, how are you? I am well. Custom orders for Chaos 2 went better than I expected, and I expected it to go well. But I have many weeks of work of printing ahead of me, even with the handful that I've already finished, so it went well. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to make a sellable 6. We'll see. I am gonna make a regular, like a perfect chaos at this scale. So maybe Chaos 6 could also be at this scale. Welcome, Shadow-like Latina. Welcome, Elijah's Extraordinary Animations. Welcome, Pro Tyler Adventures. Welcome, Go Play Outside. Whimsy and Heiko. And Sir Chompy. And Maxi. Welcome. Yep, gonna make Chaos 4. Chaos 2 just did too well. So I obviously have to make Chaos 4. What am I making? BioLizard? I want to make BioLizard. I just don't think I'll be able to do them full size for a while. Because if I do tackle a full size one, that'll be as big as my couch. And I gotta finish Metal Overlord first. I've been bad about that. It's just other things have been doing better on the channel. So petition for him to make a BioLizard action figure when its tail moves and its limbs and head move. Well, you know, ever since I made Zavik up there have some successful joints, I feel better about making joints for BioLizard. I can see that happening. We're getting closer to it. That's kind of how Zavik became more than just a statue, because y'all convinced me that it would be much better if it had joints, and I'm glad I did. Maybe your petition would work. When I make Perfect Chaos, will I make them based on the Adventure model or the Generations one? To be honest, I like the Adventure one more. Obviously not how it looks in game, but in those, like the cutscenes, I like how that head looks. I like it more with the fully transparent than like the dark blue on the top, you know. Welcome, Harry the Man. I just watched a play last week. There was a character named Harry the Horse. So we have found Harry the Man. Welcome, Tomatoes JP, no problem. Alright. Heiko, I actually have made about half of a Gamma figure. But, a lot of people have made Gamma, so I kind of stopped on it. I can't say that I thought the Orca Whale looked like it. Yeah, let's make Chaos, but he's a fishy. Guys, I can't wait to stream some Cross Worlds. I want it to come out. Sonic Rumble, too. I wonder if I got a VPN. If I could get on Sonic Rumble. And I wonder if I would break terms of service if I streamed it. I won't do it. I won't do it if it's something I can get my channel in trouble for, but could be fun. Is he necessary? Yeah, he's ugly, but he is my favorite. Chaos 2 was kind of like a test of if I could make something big-ish. Yeah, I love the idea of got those fins. The fins are like thinner on the body, but since I think since Chaos 4 is bigger, those fins will be about the same size as these arms. I think the head will be a little bit bigger on Chaos 4. The body's going to be bigger. I'm ripping my FEP a lot, I think, because these are such big, thick pieces, and I can't make them hollow. Normally a big piece like this I would make hollow in the print, but because I need that refraction going all the way through to make them look watery, it has to be one solid piece, unfortunately. And so the big body, it pulls up a lot of suction on the FEP, so that's going to be a little bit of a difficulty. We'll see how that works out. Especially if I mesh in eye detail like I approximated with that 2 prototype. What do you mean by that, Tomato? Oh yeah, Pro Tyler, I know it's possible. I just don't want to, I don't even care if my account would get banned if they found out, but my YouTube account. I don't want to do anything that might get my YouTube channel struck or anything if I do that. Oh, the bumpy eyes I did with the... Oh, yeah, you're saying put the bumpy eyes into the actual model itself. Yeah, not a bad idea. What is a bark figure, Heiko? Bark. You're not talking about my bark shark, are you? Alright, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. Yeah, right, Pichu? Oh, Bark the polar bear. Oh, let's take a look at him. Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do something. I was going to show off some art. So if anybody has art that they want to show, I'm going to... You know, because a lot of people ask to show things on Discord, but I tend not to want to show things in the middle of the stream. So at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to go look at a bunch of your art. So if you haven't posted any for a while, go post it in the art channel right now on the Discord. And we'll go take a look at stuff before I get started modeling. Ah, this guy. Yeah. This guy is more possible now that I've made Zavik. Here, let me start sharing my screen. Cool animations. Good luck finding it. Yes, Harry the Man. And it will have probably the same amount of articulation as this, which is not much. You know, you can turn the head, you can turn the arms, and then I kind of unintentionally, but I'm happy with it, unintentionally glued the body to the legs because I put it together while there was still a bit of tackiness from the sealant. So this one is not articulated at the waist. But yeah, it'll probably be like that same kind where it's like, you know, these come out, you know, like, well, that's pretty nice and in there, but yeah, so if you call that articulation, it'll be similar to that in the articulation. That's assuming I can print it well. I'm worried about the big body with it, but we'll see. Yeah, I said I was going to share my screen. And we'll switch this to the other screen. Let's see. What I need to do, I need to just duplicate this. I'm always just changing the settings on this, and that's not good. The reference. I want to paste the reference. Dang it. Alright, today I'll just do it as I normally do. There we go. And let's bring Bark Polar Bear on the other screen. Yeah, so this is possible. I can see myself making this. a little bit thin as far as joints go, though. But he's pretty big. He would be as big as Zavik if this scale is correct. Obviously, his arms wouldn't be as thick as the actual Zavik figure, but yeah, I think that's doable. Welcome, fandom. Welcome, Martin McBride. Thank you. What is Zom Zom? Oh, I hate this guy. That's right. No, he's possible. So I've started selling Zaviks. I haven't really advertised it well. I've been telling people who buy the Chaos 2s that they can buy a few things that I haven't stocked. Because I've just been printing them idly. This is probably enough to make 3 Zaviks. So I've just been printing in my off time so I can build up some. And I've sold 2 of those 3, so I do need to print more. But so I've been kind of quietly selling Zaviks. So DM me if you want to get in on that. It's just been part of the copy-paste message that I've been sending to people. So, yeah, sorry if that's a surprise to some of y'all. I just threw it in there like, oh, I have some stock. I also have stock of... So I ended up printing these together as one. You guys remember I split this in half to get the really good detail for the Chow board? What I did was I ended up orienting it this way, and it worked really great. Not too many supports to sand off. So I'm not doing the 2-piece thing anymore. And I have a bunch of these printed and in stock right now. I'm selling them for $10 each. And they have a little peg to actually fit the foot of... I'm about to sneeze, sorry. To actually fit the foot of the Chow on it. What about Storm? Storm is probably similar to that bear. What's the bear's name? Bark. Yeah, he's probably similar to Bark. I might use some of these joints, like the ones that I used for Rouge. It came with some bigger ones, so I think I might start doing some with like big joints with those bigger hobby joints. Zavik is the exact same price as Chaos 2, $65. Ooh. Nice. How'd you find another werehog? Do you have a name for the Chow Extreme gear? Some people have been kicking names around for it. Froggy Price. What was another one? I forget. Yeah, I'm going to Canada next weekend, or let's see, the weekend after next. I'll be taking a look for Tangles and Metal Virus Sonic. See if I can find any. Peachy calls it the Fisher Rocket. That's right. I think it was Fandom who said Froggy Price. Yeah, those would be cool. All right, let's Chaos for Sonic. Let's look at some of the key features of this guy. Ooh, somebody already did a smoothed out one. Looks nice. Let's see. I like what they did with the kind of like the bone structure and the fin. All these Chaoses, they're a little bit hard to see details. I like this illustration because it really shows like what these parts are. I have already made Egg Pawn, or Samurai Egg Pawn at least. And folks have asked if I could make a regular Egg Pawn from it. You guys know the way I 3D model, I do a lot of booleans, so it'll take some work to go back to previous versions and make it a regular Egg Pawn. But it's possible. There's a lot of possibilities. Chaos 4 is going to be more than Chaos 2 just because of the nature of it being big. And honestly, Chaos 2 is pretty cheap for what it is. I mean, you get a whole... This is a big guy. He's not super articulated, but tough to print. So Chaos 2 is a pretty good price. It is going to have to be more just because it's bigger and harder to work with. This guy takes a ton of processing work. Even with, you know, if you buy the kit, you still have to sand it. You still have to do all the stuff. But the cleaning of this to make sure it's not too sticky and cure it just enough so that it's cured but it doesn't turn yellow. And trying to get all the resin and the alcohol out of all the cavities in there with the, you have to use this blower thing. There's actually a lot of work on my side still. I was doing a lot of that today for the orders that I have printed so far. So I'm hoping that Chaos 4 won't be too much harder. He'll just be a bit bigger. Yeah, Chaos 6, like this big. That one definitely can't be solid. It would have to be walls that all fit together. Oh, guys, don't get me started. If I just 3D printed it on an FDM printer and then I molded it, let me show you something. See, this is my website. If you ever want to see a ton of my stuff that I do, it's stegosaurus.com. Got all kinds of old projects on here. I don't have a lot of my newer stuff on here. Let's see, what was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for my demo reels. So on this page, I have interactive experience reel. You know what? Let's watch through this. There's some fun stuff to watch. Welcome, Pink GameCube. Good to see you. Alright. So this is a ride I made. A ride. It was like a... Oh shit, this is gonna go too fast for me to explain everything, but these are just different projects I've done over the years. These are all kind of projects I did to try to get to Imagineering, which I eventually did. I worked there for a while. So I was trying to do a lot of animatronic projects and things. But when it gets to the molding part, you're gonna see me like holding this big mold. This one's cool. You can control the fountain with your hand. See ya, Heiko. Good to have you here. The little animatronics I made. It's a Togepi. I used to do little combat robots, like battle bots. Fiber optic stuff. I used to make these for escape rooms. There we go. So that thing that I'm rotating around my head, that's an open pore giant mold. I made an egg out of clay, and then I molded it. And so what that's doing is it's moving the material around inside of there. A lot of times you'll put this in a machine that does it, and then the material dries while it kind of gets on all the sides. So you have like a clear blue or clear whatever color resin shape that you want. Maybe that's how I could make Chaos 6. Maybe. It'd be expensive just to make the mold. So yeah, if anybody is ever interested in all my other stuff that I do, you could check out stegosaurus.com. That's where I just put a lot of cool stuff. Some of it's very specific to like my career, where I do just like rigging of things. And of course my custom toys just has all my videos here. I need to update it to have Chaos 2. And my toy photography page. I love doing toy photography. I just don't do it enough anymore. This is my most recent one. This is with the huge squid figure that I made. And this is one I made on stream. Most of the other images are probably before you guys started watching. Well, no, we've got Lancelot and Whisper and Trip. The rest are kind of before that, though. Yes, TT has been here. That's right. Yeah, I went up a big hill in my city. I hiked up it with this giant thing. It's only 13 pounds, but when you have to hold it up like this, we brought a cart to bring it in, but the cart was vibrating so much on the rocks as we would bring it up, you know, because it's like a hiking trail. It was like vibrating this apart. Like this squid is a little bit fragile, and it was like breaking the supports of the plastic right here. There was so much vibration. And so I had to carry it all the way up. That whole thing, like with my arms outstretched, it was super hard. I was sore after that. Oh yeah, the Elder Cocoa in the background. I tried to fit Big in there somewhere, but it just didn't work for the composition. Yeah, it's a cool place. Alright, well, let's get started on Chaos 4. So here I have the Chaos 2 scene. Oh, I forgot I was going to look at art from people. 1 second. Pull up Discord. Okay. Art channel. We have some from Pro Tyler. Cool. It looks like you sketched this out on a tablet of some kind. Very cool. Got some nice, easy, loose strokes. Are these Roblox characters, Pro Tyler? Pretty cool. Yeah, I feel bad because I haven't been really active on the Discord for the last day because I've just been inundated with messages for the Chaos stuff. Got a shot of Werehog here from Hoovaloo. Very nice. This is Sparkle Wolf's drawing my human design of Box from Inanimate Insanity. Cool. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like inanimate insanity. It must be objects that come to life. Maxi, always with the great proportions and great shading. Check this out. Way cool. Somebody's just saying Happy Goku Day. That was Geo is cool. Yeah, very nice. Oh, let's get some Malachi. Oh yeah, Malachi the Hedgehog. Check that out. Lots of things of what Malachi is, and then Mally has been making a new character. If I scroll up a lot. I love the idea that you've got both a Sonic and Tails type character for your OCs. That's really cool. Spray painting Malimations on the wall. Pretty awesome. And Hoovaloo posted a very interesting one. Neat. It's very surrealist. Wish. I think you said something about dreams. It's like a series on crazy dreams or something. Got like a pig statue vomiting Pepto-Bismol. Pretty cool. Yeah, so if anybody's not in the Discord, this is all from the art channel. So check that out if you haven't already. Because we have a good community there where we all talk about each other's art. Good time. Yes, Martin, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Gerald. Welcome, Unknown Lobster and Gerald. Yeah, Giganto or Giganto, however you pronounce it. I wouldn't be opposed to making a cosplay of him someday. I think that could be cool. and go to some kind of Sonic convention. Yes, it is a good problem they have. Well, I end up doing Chaos 6. Yeah, I was just talking to people a second ago about how I used to make molds and stuff. I made a big dragon egg mold where you pour, it's an open pour mold, and then you kind of swish it around so it gets all on the surface while it dries, the resin. And it would cost a lot just to make the mold. And then I would do an FDM print for the outside, but if I want to make all the chaoses, I think I gotta do that. Cosplay as Giganto, Gerald. Oh, sorry to hear that, Harry. Alright, I am already out of water, so before I get started, I am just going to grab some more water, and I'll be right back. Everybody in the chat, say your favorite chaos form and why. Ooh, awesome, pink GameCube. Yeah, I used to have so many conventions to go to when I was in LA, but then I moved far away. Not far away from things to do, but like conventions and stuff. I live in the downtown area of a resort town, so it's a really, like, everything's just a walk away. I can do all kinds of fun stuff. They don't really have conventions and stuff here. Alright, so we have, let's see. Pichu Sonic says Chaos 4 because fishy and it looks cool. YZ says Perfect Chaos, God of Destruction. PT says 0, I don't know, I like simple designs. I do like Chaos 0. Tomatoes GP also likes 0. I know it's basic, but you literally opened the game with that fight. Oh, where did your chat go? Oh, it just shifted down. I think somebody deleted a message. Phantom says Chaos 0 because you never go bad with the OG, no power-ups. Was Chaos 3 everything? No. And I think it would be kind of cool to try to come up with my own design for Chaos 3. I don't know. That could be a fun thing. I don't know if people would buy that. Yeah, Elijah, I really should do more Metal Overlord. I just haven't been inspired to do it. I'm kind of waiting until I finish my squid video, which is about half done, and see if the squid video does well, and then go from there. And see if it's worth continuing to do huge stuff. Like, somebody made this. What is this? The Chaos redesign. That's interesting. Oh, specifically a Chaos 4 redesign. Ooh, interesting. Little cute Chaos 0, Chaos 1. And of course I gotta make Chaos 1. Chaos 1 should be easier than Chaos 2. I think it's just 3 and 5 we don't have designs for. Is that right? I could do that, TT. Yeah, the colors are pretty close. Like, one of the pictures I took, the colors are just, like, almost spot on between the Chaos toy and what I've been printing. And then when we took a picture with my wife's DSLR, they were notably different colors. I think it just depends on what camera. I think it's somewhere in between the two in real life. Yeah, Chaos 1 is about 5 inches. I could see that. Alright. So the first thing I'm going to do... I'll turn down my music just a little bit. It's a bit loud when I'm trying to hear myself talk. Alright, so yeah, here's all the... So one thing that I haven't shown yet is that I'm making all these little pegs to go in the holes. Because before I just put resin in. It was a really messy process. I just put resin in and then used a light on it. So the ones people actually buy are going to get these pegs. So I'm still testing with those this weekend before the first shipments go out. What was I going to do? I want to take this and I want to scale it to the size. I want to scale Chaos 4 to the size that it should be. So I'm going to take these. I'm just going to combine this and export it just so I have a reference of the actual size that I want it to be. You know, I did some streams where I was working on E102 Gamma, but other people make him, so I kind of keep not doing it. But that being said, you know, I don't mind making it. It's just, you know, I just haven't been inspired. Like, nobody else is making Chaos, so it's like I'm inspired to make something that's unique, you know. I'll call this Chaos 2 size reference. I will not be able to do ball joints for resin prints. I did for Zavik, that you can see up on the shelf there. I think the Zavik joints went pretty well. So anything that I do in FDM, yes, I'm starting to do ball joints. I did it on Black Doom as well, which you can see in the corner over there. So yes, ball joints for FDM prints, but not for resin. They just wear down too fast. Thank you, Pink GameCube. Yeah, I totally could and should. It's just one of those things. It's like that I'm not inspired to do it because of that. Well, you know what I think Tito's is worth that because he did make it from scratch. You know, some things I make from scratch, and like today, you're gonna see me start with the model of Chaos 4 from Sonic Adventure. Yeah, and if that's the case where he made it completely from scratch, I applaud him. That's a lot of work. He definitely deserves, and if he's able to sell at that point, you know, I want to be, I want to say the right things. I tend to go cheaper. Like, I know that I could sell for more, but I don't know. It's just a choice I'm making. You know, I wanna be able to make a lot of people happy at different financial levels. I'm all tied up on my headset right now. One second. Yeah, because ultimately, you know, I don't like selling things. I have a lot of anxiety over if people don't like it, and I just don't like to make the same thing over and over again. And you know, just printing stuff, I think a lot of people underestimate how much time that takes, and there is just so much failure, and the failures are like the worst type of work to have to do. You got to clean it up, and you're like, oh, I'm not making any progress toward actually selling things. I'm just having to fix this thing. And even though we're being careful, I'm afraid I'm developing an allergic reaction to resin. So it's entirely possible I might not even be able to do resin, you know, in the future. We always wear gloves. We always wear a long sleeve shirt specifically for it. We have ventilation. I have my the correct type of mask and everything. Sometimes, no matter how careful you are, you know, I just feel a little more kind of itchy, and I'm like, oh, is this? It seems to coincide when I'm printing a lot. I'm like, shoot, am I developing a reaction? Because it's a resin is what's called a sensitizer, which means that you can develop an allergic reaction to it over time. And so, long story short, I don't like to print a lot. I don't even like to print for my own stuff, you know? Printing is a means to an end for me, and I'm not enthusiastic about printers like a lot of people are. Like, people are into the hobby. They're like, oh, I want to tweak my printer. I want to try out all these different settings, get this or that. And, yeah, that's just not my interest. I just want to take my 3D stuff and bring it to life. And so... you know, I'm making money from it, but it's also, I don't want to say it's a service. It's not a service because it's a business. But me trying to keep my prices lower is like trying to be positive, like let more people afford it, and trying to have enough stock for everybody. And those are kind of opposing. The cheaper I make it, more people buy it, and so then it's like then people get upset I don't have enough stock. And I'm like, got so much other stuff that I want to do, you know. The final product? Yeah, I hope so. Like, for everybody who's buying a Chaos 2, I send them a video first. That video is called 7 Reasons Not to Buy My Kit, and it tells all the reasons why this is a difficult kit to make, so I just want to make sure people know what they're getting into when they buy it. Because it is a hard kit to put together. Well, not put together, but it's easy to mess up. If you inject the paint and it spills, it gets all over, you gotta like sand down a lot of the surface to get rid of that paint. Depending on what kind of paint you use. Maybe certain paints can wash off better, but the paints that I screwed up with, I just printed another one. Like, I could have sanded it down. I was like, you know what? But you know, if you're buying just one set, you only get that one chance. You don't have the luxury of me being able to just print another one. I don't think I would make a variant where Froggy is floating inside Finley. I think I would make that standard. How much is Chaos 2? $65. And then I sell for an additional $5 a little, I don't have any with me right here, but the syringe and some cuts of sandpaper. And I'm also going to be, I never advertised this, but I'm going to be sending sticky tack. Remember in the video where I filled the holes with sticky tack? While I moved around, I'm going to be adding some sticky tack to those. I can make a chaos puddle. I could totally do that. Alright, so I'm going to undo all these things because I exported the model that I wanted. And then I'm just going to save this scene because I do want the work that I was doing in here before. But I don't need all that stuff that I was doing. So I'll save this scene and we'll start a new scene. My favorite chips? Salt and vinegar. Oh, I'm sorry, Elijah. I missed your message. Am I going to do Black Doom Final Form? I think it's super ugly. But I wasn't into doing Black Doom originally either, so I wouldn't count it out. No, Harry, it comes as individual pieces. Yeah, honestly, the hours that I put into this. Let's see. Well, there's a difference between all the R&D that I did, which was a lot more. Let's say I was just making this again, how many hours it would take me. Costs about $500 if I go by my like my regular wage. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's why I'm telling everybody who buys the kit how much work it'll be. Welcome, Daisy. Well, that's interesting. Turning Chaos 0 into Chaos 1. Huh. Yeah, right, fandom. Alright, so we're going to make a new scene now, and we are going to bring in what I just exported. So this is how we'll know what size Chaos 4 needs to be. Then we have the file. Alright, here's the model that they gave us. This is what was ripped from the game. Gonna rotate that. Alright, so how big do we think Chaos 4 is? I want to make him as small as possible, because the smaller he is, the more easily I'm going to be able to sell him. So here he is a little bit bigger than Chaos 2. Oh. I feel like that is significantly smaller. Like, I'm looking at the head. I feel like the head should be a good indicator. Like, I don't think as Chaos evolves with the emeralds that his head would get smaller. So I think we definitely need to scale up. I'm nervous about how big it's getting already. Sharkus. That's a good question, Finley. I always assumed they were kind of some kind of bone structure. But yeah, maybe they are rocky surfaces. Yes, Pichu Sonic. I think that's probably a good estimate. Because I also got to think about what will fit on my printer. I can fit two of these arms kind of like this on my printer, like kind of wrapped around each other. And so at this scale, like if I'm thinking about how I'm going to break it up, probably be like a tail like this. There's like this first part of the body. Then the second part of the body, that'll probably be a separate print, like that. But I'm just looking at how big this is. That is really concerning to me. I don't know if I can... I'm worried that the bigger solid pieces I print on my printer, if it's going to rip the FEP even more. Yeah, that would be possible, Finley. I just don't know if that would be a priority for me. What do you guys think about this size? Here they are next to each other. I feel like I would like to get away with it being a little smaller. Let's look at their heads next to each other. It's not terrible. I mean, the next time we see him after Chaos 4, his body is bigger and he's got practically no head. He's just got like eyes on the front of the body. So maybe I shouldn't be too concerned about the head size. Yeah, totally, Finley. When do I think Chaos 4 could be done and ready to sell? It's definitely going to go on sale after I'm done with Chaos 2 orders, or at least when they slow down. Right now, like, just the printing time for the orders that I have. You know, I've got a handful printed already that just need cleaning. But, yeah, let's see. Doing the math in my head. I have at least a week of printing. Like, these things print, but I could, you know, it takes 3 prints to make 1 Chaos. Because I've got the body and legs on 1 print. I've got the 2 arms on another print. And then I've got 2 heads, so that's kind of combining 2. So call it 2.5 prints per character. But I have to, like, time it out. You know, I'll set it for 3.5 hours, go work at work, and then I have to find a break from work to come down, clean it off the printer. That means getting my mask on, getting my gloves on. And so it's like, I need a time in the day where I can spend, you know, 15 minutes getting it off the printer and processed. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm really efficient, I can get out maybe 1, maybe even 2 per day if I was like perfectly efficient. But because I got work and I got to have the time to come down and do it, we're looking at like being lucky if I print 1 per day. And that's when the printer doesn't fail. I just spent an hour because the FEP failed and resin got everywhere. Again. And I think part of that is because it's big suction on these parts. So, that being said, I feel like this is a good size for us. It's going to be a little bit bigger. I like these together. Yes, I definitely want to do that, Pichu Sonic. I always thought he was in the casino, but I now realize that he's in a hotel restaurant. And I have a rug in my living room that I would think would be the perfect floor. And then I want to have like a big pile of rings. Even though the rings aren't in the scene. Well, there's rings in the scene. But I kind of want to just have, like, as far as composition goes, I want to have him kind of like standing on a bunch of rings while Knuckles is coming in to fight him or something. Welcome back, Maui. Yeah, I think so too, Tomato. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start working with this. It looks like, yeah, the bones are also inside of here, so that's great. Let's put everything we want to work with on a layer now. We're basically going to do the same process as last time, which is we're going to take the whole outer shell of everything and then sculpt on it. I will not be giving this one a butt. I don't even know where a butt would go on this guy. And we want to add these as well. So all these inside parts. This one should actually be a little bit easier to make as far as like the inner cavities. Because the inner cavities of this one, they go so far down, it's really hard to make sure all the resin is out of it. So these should actually be easier. I think so. I put so much sealer on this guy that I think he would survive underwater. Yeah, I don't want to guarantee that. So if anybody who buys these and follows this process, I don't want to guarantee it. But I personally, if I wanted to do an underwater shot, like I will probably go to the lake with a bunch of lily pads and stuff and shoot Chaos 4 in the water. So my answer is, yeah, I would probably feel comfortable doing that. But no guarantees if you buy one from me. Maybe I'll do it first and tell you if I have any issues. Alright, cool. Well, thanks for being here, TT. Talk to you later. TTYL. Mm-hmm. TT knows. Yeah, Chaos 4 will definitely need a stand. Hey, what's up, Platimac? Thank you. Right, so these will be all the inner parts. And I might want to do some more dynamic arms than this instead of just down like this. Let's look at some of the poses that he does. Well, he kind of just does stand with his arms down, doesn't he? Kind of like this pose. Yeah, we'll see. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Because I can sculpt it and then pose him in ZBrush. Yeah, I do hope someday to see a movie version of Chaos for sure, though. Ooh, awesome, Platimac. Welcome, Supersonic Squad. So, bind these. Wait a second. Oh, there's a separate set of eyes. So combine, and we're going to just fill in all these holes. Thank you, Supersonic Squad. You were wondering if you really did need a 3D printer for all these, is there anything else that you can use? Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. I could be sculpting this in clay right now, and instead of like making the clay the final model, I could make a mold of that. Here, let me take a little detour back to my website I was showing earlier in the stream. Let's see. Way down at the bottom. So this is my tutorial for making a 3D print into a mold. The reason I used to mold a lot of my 3D prints is because I didn't have a good printer, and it would always have a ton of print lines. So I would sand it down really, really nicely and then make a mold of what I sanded down. And yeah, so here it is. I'm putting clay on one side. And then once you put the clay in this box, you pour silicone into one side of it. So here I am mixing the silicone, and then I pour it into one side. And then once that dries, you take out all the remaining clay, but leave the box intact, and then pour the other side. This is what's called a two-part mold, and there's a bunch of different types of molds. Here I am pouring one of the sides. And then this didn't come out so well. I think this was I had a bad batch of resin. Here's my first sale of a Stegosaurus with a very young me. This is at some kind of toy convention. But that wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for the Bark Shark one. Go. Yeah, here we go. So this was a more complicated, messy mold, but it's the same idea. So just ignore the part where it talks about the sculpt here. Imagine I sculpted this in clay. And then what you can do is you can cast these things in a clear resin instead of white. And there you go. You can make this without doing any 3D printing or having a resin printer. You could do it with a regular printer that you can't do transparent on. And yeah, cast it in clear. Oh, interesting, Tomato. Do I think I'll ever make an Eggman and an Eggmobile from Sonic Adventure 1? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not that interested in making an Eggman exactly, but I'm interested in taking my Eggman toy, just the regular toy, and making a mech for it. Let's see, any other questions I missed? I don't think it'll be next. Movie 4 is almost certainly Terminator, a la Metal Sonic. Yeah, that's interesting, being like a Terminator movie. That's true, we have a lot of time. Ooh, movie to call would be cool. I am doing exactly that Supersonic Squad, and then I'm going to do a stop-motion video of that end credit scene where Amy fights all the Metal Sonics. Yeah, I don't have the figure at my table anymore, but I'm using one of the robot Sonics from Sonic Prime as the base of it. What's up, Boatable Globe? So yeah, to answer long answer to your question, you can absolutely do this in other ways, like with clay, and still get transparency by molding it. What do I want out of Sonic 4? Big. I think the rest of your message said plot, but I would love to see Big and Froggy. As a lot of you know, I'm not a huge fan of Metal Sonic. I don't like his design. I think it's too spindly. I like thicker characters, like as far as their design goes. That's why I like Mecha Sonic. I forget which version of Mecha Sonic I like, but whatever one they made the toy of. Because he's just a lot more like robust feeling to me as far as like the designs that I like. So I'm not that interested in what Metal Sonic's up to. I don't really know what I expect. Who would I cast as Big? I don't know. Who's got a deep, silly voice? Froggy. I honestly don't know. Did you? Cool, Vote Globe. Yeah, I think now is the time to do more. Like, I feel like Sonic 3 could have introduced another animal character, but I don't mind that they didn't. But I do think we are now at the point where, yeah, we should be getting more, because I think that's going to be more of the draw of the movies now. I think it's the right decision. You know, each one has had less and less of the humans. I think that's good. I enjoy all the human characters and their storylines, but you know, we're there for Sonic, friends. I think now is the time to start bringing in a lot more. I don't want them to overdo it, mind you. And I think Robotnik should stay dead. I feel like, you know, there's ways they could make him come back. But I feel like that was such a good standoff for Robotnik that I'm happy with that ending. Especially the way it did. It was kind of heartfelt, you know. And it was, you know, it was funny too. Not funny that he died, but you know, great acting. Jim Carrey's amazing. There were leaks today? Maybe don't say... Ah, shoot. I gotta Google this. You guys will just see my reaction, okay? Let's see. Hoovlu, why don't you send them to me on Discord? Because nothing is coming up immediately when I look. Yeah, nothing from today is coming up. Oh, figure leaks. No, what are those? Well, again, don't say in case anybody here doesn't want to know, but let's see. Sonic Jax figure leaks. Still nothing coming up for me. News. I'm not finding anything. Steak figure leaks. I'm not sure. What was my reaction? I was waiting for it. I loved it. I felt it went a little too short. You know, they had the 2 parts where they did it. Let's check merch news in Tito's channel. Oh, Hoovaloo sent it directly to me. Okay. All right. Yeah, one we already kind of knew was coming. Oh no, we didn't. We didn't know that this specific thing was coming. A different thing, though. I'm trying to be vague. A different thing of the same thing we knew about, but not this. Interesting. Yeah. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, you all know that I'm not a huge fan of that. I like a different version of that. Again, being vague. I mean, honestly, I don't think the Discord should stay spoiler free for figures, because it's not like a movie. In fact, you know what? I'm going to allow people to talk about it here, because it's not a movie spoiler. I mean, I don't care that much about movie spoilers either, but I know a lot of people do. But you know, at least movie spoilers, it's like, oh, I want to see it in the theater. I want to, and I think this is okay to talk about here in the chat. So y'all can. People are asking in the chat. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves about it. Probably not going to do any sculpting of this today. This is probably going to be a shorter stream because I have a headache, and I took headache medicine before starting the stream, but we're an hour in and it's only gotten worse. So I'm probably just going to get this thing prepped and ready for ZBrush sculpting, and then I'll do the actual sculpting on another stream. Sorry about that, y'all, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling the headache right now. Yeah, the maskless one. Oh, there were flickies? I didn't see that. Yeah, the maskless trip, I don't care for. I like masked trip. The masked trip is still coming out, right? Or was it rumored that a masked one was coming out, and it turns out that it is a maskless one? Are you saying yup to... what was I even saying? Are you saying yup to the fact that there will be both, or that the rumored one turned out to be maskless. Be funny if some kind of rock star played Vector, I think. Oh, both are. Okay, excellent. Yeah, probably not. I mean, I'll probably make it so that the tail can rotate. Because so much about articulation requires friction, and with this material, I'll show you what happens when I take arm out of here. See, it's kind of powdery. Just by putting it in there and taking it out, it rubs. Let's see, you'll probably see a dust cloud come out. This is really bad for me. You know, I'm not going to do it because that is bad. You can see in there, well, not on camera, but you can see in there there's like dust from it rubbing against itself. Oh, some came out when I pushed it in. All the air pushed it out. So, you know, I can't really do articulation like I did on Zavik with this material. Jason Momoa as Vector. I think I'd enjoy that. Well, you know what? I think there was a tool that I knew of a long time ago. Hit mesh. Instead of merging to center, it was like merge target or something. Just transform. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Target weld, I think it was. So I could just do this. Oh no! What was that? There we go. Oh, yeah, that's way better. Oh, but no, I do like merge to center. This isn't merging to center, so I will go back to what I was doing. What's up, MS Paint? Do the joints wear down? Yeah, definitely. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, these are pretty stuck in there, so they just kind of, they don't rotate all the way around. The way that I've, like, sanded them down, it's hard to explain. They just kind of go like this to this, and then they kind of get stuck. Oh, Jack Black would be cool as Vector, though. Jack Black as Omega, yeah. Alright, do these actually match up? They do not. Gotta get rid of these faces that way. See, actually, yeah, that's not symmetrical at all. How do I want to handle that? Move this vertex here. Because I'm going to delete half of this anyway, and mirror it so that it's perfectly mirrored for our sculpt. I do want this to be protruded out a little bit, so I think I'm going to add a line going all the way down. I'll let that intersect right here. Cut tool, so we'll just start here, go here. Alright, cool. Now we should have just a nice... Well, the tail doesn't look nice right now, but... Got a nice line down the center. If I quadrangulate. Did it quadrangulate? Well, yeah, it did. Ooh. It's gonna take some work. Pretty gross. Oh my gosh. Did they build the model this way? Make it look a little cleaner, by the way. Mesh display, soften edge, unlock normals. There we go. That's a lot nicer looking there. I'm going to delete these arms. Now with this all together, it's still not... Let's hide chaos. Chaos 2, that is. We need to cut down here. Back down through the face, it looks like. Here, down, here. Oh, I have some merging to do. Cool. They cut here. You can see what I'm trying to do is just make a line that goes all the way down through the center of the whole thing, so that I can make that perfectly straight. And then I'm going to mirror across everything. That goes all the way down to here. And that's not welded, but I don't care. Remember, we had to do extra geometry on the other side. Now, this should all be a single line. Well, it's not going to let me click all the way through, unfortunately, but... Oops, I have not completed this. Multi-cut again. Goes up there. This can go here. It's kind of a very messy base model. Alright, that should be good. So let's just start deleting faces on this side. All this needs to go. That's weird. We had a non-manifold edge right there. Okay. Very, very messy. This vertex needs to come out more. Okay, I think that's looking good. Look at that. Now we can select the whole edge around it nicely. And what do I think about that? I want to get rid of this face. Go. We'll put this at 0 on X. We have this whole part that is the middle of our model. That's great. Make sure that that goes... Oh, it is already on 0, actually. Now, when we duplicate it, the pivot down to the center of the scene, scale it over. Nice, perfectly symmetrical model. Alright, so that actually looks pretty cool. It's just smoothed out. So one of the things I'm going to do, just like I thickened up Chaos's legs, I'm definitely going to be thickening up these arms. Just, even though it's not, you know, canon, I just want to, I don't want it to be fragile here. Yes, the base model is from the actual game. Oh, that'd be interesting, Harry. Would you ever consider making an emerald shrine for it? Maybe. I know, somebody, Gabs, made a temple. And you can buy it. I was considering, trying printing that on my FDM printer. What's up, Wake Angel? Good to see ya. Says, Chaos Force design. What's scarier than a shark? A shark that can punch you. No truer word said. Oh man, I wish I didn't have a headache. I do want to get straight to sculpting this because this will be really fun. Yeah, let's push through. I am gonna grab more headache medicine and more water, and then. No, I'm not overworking myself. Here's the thing. I think if I stop the stream now, and I like go upstairs for like 30 minutes, I'm gonna be right back down here sculpting anyway. I think I'm too inspired. I'm not gonna overdo it, but yeah. Let me go grab some more headache medicine, and we'll continue. If my headache gets much worse, I'll stop. So I will be right back. We'll make a deal. Maybe I won't talk as much because my throat hurts a little too. I've been feeling under the weather. I think it's mostly allergies from a lot of stuff in the air. I'll be right back. Alright, back. Alright, see you later, Wake Angel. Alright, check a couple things before I get started again. All right, let's get ZBrush going. One more thing. All right, here we go. Let's go back into Maya real quick, actually. And one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this gets thicker. Look at this weird back part here. It's not going to look good. What I want to do is I want to take this edge and we'll bevel it just a little. Oh. I'm going to give it a little more thickness. Now, hopefully I can take this. Oh, it's not going to work. I just want to get this middle part thicker a little bit. No, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Oh man, that's gonna be a pain. I have to do it no matter what. This is gonna be a little boring to watch while I select all these edges. And the idea being that I'm just trying to separate these a little bit more so it doesn't get too pointy. We just add some thickness there. I mean, obviously we can add thickness in ZBrush. I just want to make sure that the base geometry has enough here. And another thing I'm going to do is, remember in ZBrush when I kind of pulled in the eyes? Either you saw that on stream or in the new video. Well, I'm just going to do that in Maya here first. Have a little foresight. When I sell my stuff, do I ever do restocks? You'd only have a limited supply. No, I restock. It just depends on what I feel like putting in the printer. And if the printer's working. I actually never closed my custom orders. You know, it's always going to be cheaper whenever I restock, but you know, I'm not. There's a lot of things that I'm possibly not ever going to restock unless like there's a huge clamoring for it. So if you take a look at the Discord in the sales section, there is a little graphic that says how much everything is if you want me to just make it custom. But of course, it's more expensive because I kind of don't want to do it. It's a deterrence. But if anybody was like, I need this right now, can't wait a year for a restock or something, you can pay a premium. Alright, I dig this. So let's actually save the scene. We haven't saved the scene. That's dumb. Chaos 4. Alright, take care, Peachy Sonic. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. Stupid BD fan. I was talking about, like, if I did, I could make it a cosplay. Ooh, yeah, one thing that I don't like here is how it just gets so flat and then suddenly sharp. So we're going to work with that in ZBrush. Make that a little better. I just don't like how there's now a bump, because I did that thing where I did a lot of things that brought in artifacts that I don't like, and we are going to fix that in ZBrush. So let's go File, Export Selection, ZBrush, Chaos 4 base. Oh, my favorite part and my least favorite part about this community. Favorite part? There's a lot of my favorite parts. I think I really like streaming, actually. I like people watching, both because it's like people get to watch me do my work, but it also pushes me to take less breaks. Although, you know, sometimes I just like to sit down and watch a movie while I work, which I obviously can't do while I'm streaming. Yeah, so it's work to stream. Like, I have to kind of be cordial and, well, I mean, I'm often cordial, but what I mean is, you know, just kind of, you're on camera, you got to be articulate and things. It takes energy. But I really like you guys being able to watch. So that's why I wish I could stream more, but with all the work that I got going on, there's a lot of work that can't be done on stream. And so I really like the Saturdays. What do I like the least? I'm not a big chatter, so when you guys see me on Discord, you know, it kind of takes work for me to come up with just things to chat about, you know. And I don't like to have a lot of notifications, which is hard right now because of all the custom orders. Yeah, because I get stressed out if I have a notification that I can't get to. It's just kind of on my mind. So I think it's like, I guess maybe the least favorite part about it is like the volume of requests, and especially if I can't get to those requests right away. And not just, you know, I mean, requests. You know, people ask me to make things, and I have to say, yeah, sorry, I just can't. But let's see. Oh, but then, you know, the other thing is one of the things I worry about is, it kind of came up recently. Is I worry about, you know, I have this community where I facilitated, you know, I have the Discord, so it's like people are in my Discord chatting. I worry about people don't want to say bullying others, but kind of being negative to others. I feel a certain responsibility to it, even though it's not my responsibility. And on the flip side, I think some people are too sensitive as well. And so I think it's when you combine the sensitivity and maybe somebody who's just kind of being a jerk, but not anything really too bad. I was recently saying this to somebody recently. That's why this is on my mind. Is there's a discomfort that comes from that, knowing that I facilitated this chat where there might be, somebody upset with somebody else. So I guess I've listed two things that are my least favorite. Tied for least favorite are those two things. But yeah, it's funny you ask that, because I actually really spelt that out to somebody recently, kind of explaining, my feelings about it. Oops, I'm in the totally wrong folder. Sonic exports brush cast for base. Yeah, I do not like how thin this tail is looking right now. I'm definitely going to thicken that up. Ooh, I don't like the front of the head either. It's way too sharp. Yeah. I think I've heard you talk about, not exactly that, but similar things when people ask you about a Discord on your stream. It's a lot to manage. You know what it is? I don't like the whole introvert extrovert thing. I think it's just two extremes. You might tend toward one, but I don't think anyone is a true extrovert. Anyone's a true introvert. And yeah, I don't know where I live along that line, somewhere in the middle. But one of the things that streaming has been is that people have access to me at all times. And, some people would say just ignore it, but it's like when I have that notification that somebody's messaged me, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to rest until I answer that. And so it's a lot of always having to be an introvert for, how long have I been doing this? A year and a half. Unrelenting extroversion required for running a channel. So some of you know, like I might go a few days without messaging, and it's nothing personal. It's just there's burnout to it. I think that's one of the things that I, combining the two questions that you had, what was my favorite and what's my not. I like being, talkative and hang with everybody on stream because it's a time that I put aside for it. I think that's a really, those two things are kind of connected in a good way. For example. Oops. Oh, what did I do? I turned it black. I pressed the wrong hotkey. What did I do? And it doesn't let me undo it. I hit undo. Oh no, not that at all. I'm just saying if I don't respond to things right away, that's... Yeah, I'm not a super chatty person day to day. What did I do here? I made it black. How's Poppy doing? She's upstairs. She's not allowed down here anymore because she peed on the bed down here. Socialization in person is easier with if you're drinking the right type of water. So I guess that hotkey, I pressed C. Yeah, I guess C just makes things black. Okay. Let's make it blue, by the way, and let's give it a plastic-looking material. And I think I need to, get the whole surface smoothed out to get rid of the kind of geometry marks that came from that. One of the things that I want to implement is kind of what I did here with those ridges on the back. I want to put ridges like this somewhere. I'm thinking maybe on the sides, almost as if they're gills. I think that could be cool. Yeah, lava chaos. And these are going to definitely have like some fin detail in them, I'm going to say. Just like with Chaos 2, I was trying to bring a little bit of human anatomy to that alien design. I'm going to try to bring some fish anatomy to this strange design. So again, I'm really starting with just erring on the side of thickening these up. And first step in that is I'm actually just going to mask it. Yeah, water scales. Okay, so I want to try to smooth this out a lot. Blur mask. Just gonna keep blurring it out a lot. Then, wonder if this is enough. Let's go to deformation. Plate balloon. Whoa, that's the wrong way to go. It's kind of cute, actually. Huh. Let's swap that. Ooh. He's been working out. See, here's the problem. I want this part to get thicker, but I really want it to taper off here. So I really need to work with this mask here, and maybe just mask this off more. I could move them closer, yeah. I think I'll try that. So let me try blurring mask again and maybe just really get a blurry section here. How much I can do this. I wonder if my brush settings... Let's see, focal shift. I don't know if my brush settings actually affect... Oh, maybe. Maybe if I go lightly, it won't do as much. Not super effective. Let's try inflating that. Oh, let's see the difference between inflate and inflate balloon. I think inflate might be better for this, actually. You know what? I think that's good for what we're doing here, and then we'll just continue to do the clay build up where we want. I'll try to create like a little transition here. almost like kind of fingers almost. I'll cut in a little bit here. Really get this definition of this shape here. No, really don't be sorry. I was just trying to explain why sometimes I don't often respond. Like I respond more often to, you know, questions about things, but less about kind of day-to-day stuff. I think some like cool little almost V shapes here could be good. Kind of that same idea of what I did for the back of Chaos 1. And having, like if I go to like the polish tool here, coming in and getting those flatter. Kind of have like a little interesting, almost angular shape to it. You see what I'm talking about? And then this could have like a couple layers going like this. You have like these. Yeah, it's almost that same design idea that I really like, which is the back of Chaos 1. I put like these V-shaped things. You could just kind of have that along, just kind of so it feels like it's in that same language of design. You know what I'm talking about? Here we're just gonna V shapes in. Death Egg Rock robots from Sonic Force are the big ones? Maybe. Round things are actually kind of hard to do in 3D print. Hard to get like a really nice round shape. You have to really have your printers tweaked to do that. Tweaked, tuned is what I'm trying to say. Have your printers tuned well to get good round shapes, and mine are not always that. I think these should not have as much. Thicken these up more. Then when I smooth down, it will kind of. Yeah, it's kind of a nice feeling to it, huh? Up a little higher for these guys. Yeah, I like that. I like that movement of the shapes there. Nice about that. Yeah, that's cool. It's like he's got some knuckles, and then I'll taper this off too. So like down here, we get less and less prominent of what's going on here. So it's like we're taking this shape and kind of echoing it down the rest of it. Really like that. Again, I kind of see this as a bicep, so yeah, bring in some of that idea. I have just some separation here. I don't know why. I just like the idea that maybe there's a little bit of something coming down this way while this flows up. Thinking about all these lines and where they can flow in the arm as if they're made of water flowing through them. Kind of do the opposite here where we cut in. Bicep shape here. Cut in a little bit here still with a smaller one. Just inward like that. Still keeping this built up. Actually don't like that. Let's leave it as it was for a while. Yeah, see, he's kind of just an undefined water creature, so I love adding this definition to it to be like, this is... Because you're going to feel this model once it's 3D printed. It's got to have something there that I think games can get away with just being like, oh, water texture, you know. Give this more delts. Yeah, I definitely like the Chaos 4 boss fight more than Chaos 2. I was playing it recently to get footage of it. Chaos 2 was just not very interesting. Chaos 4, yeah, I like the... I like how he kind of goes underwater. Has a few different attacks. Chaos 2 has more attacks than I thought, actually. Ooh, okay, I'm doing something that's not very good human anatomy, but I kind of like the look like of these kind of two different muscle groups. I actually don't like it. I think I want to ground it more in reality. So let me undo like this whole section that I don't like right there. Yeah, Chaos 2 does more than I thought because he's so easy to defeat. He's just a ball most of the time you fight him. He does a lot of like reach. He does like this cool grabbing thing and stuff. If you go with more of a Generations Perfect Chaos, you can start integrating that carapace thing in later stages. Ah, yeah. Not a bad idea. Like in what I make of mine, if I do go that with the Perfect Chaos, that everything I make would be like leading up to that, kind of tying the designs better. It's not a bad idea, Tomato. It's in a little bit. Again, I'm really going against the design a little bit because I want them to be thicker for the toy. Don't want anything to be too thin. And yeah, you know what? I don't like this shape here, how it's just so far outside. So what we're going to do is... just bring all this kind of pressed in together. Still keep the silhouette. And maybe there's a little bit to be said about... I don't know. Ooh, I'm actually liking what I see here, guys. It looks very much like a swimmer's... What am I trying to say? Like a swimmer's arm. Like very, like it's got muscles, but it's thin and looks streamlined. I like what I got going here. I don't like what's happening here. What is that? I think it would behoove us to fill in a line here, so this kind of goes up more. Oh, stop. Why won't it let me? I had to click with my mouse to get rid of that. That was weird. Let's fill in a little bit more here so we have just like a continuation of this watery line. Thank you, fandom. See you, Melly. Get a little bit more of like an elbow shape here. That'll help it stand out to look like arm. Oh yeah, I like that. Yes. A little bit of cut here. Oh, thank you, Harry. Yeah, this says to me like somebody's swimming. I think it's because like I pulled the shoulders back a little bit because before they were just like out and down. I think by like unifies the design more, like making it look like it's pushing off this way, you know, shoulders back as if it's in the middle of a, you know, the stroke of, I don't know what kind of stroke that is. I don't know swimming, but yeah. It's like the pose and the anatomy reinforces an action in this case. I think that's really powerful of a like sculpt, like it's a powerful choice to be able to give the idea of movement just by the sculpting of the anatomy. But you know, a figure, a sculpture, just like a picture or painting, you're trying to get across what's happening in the scene. Like if it was a photo, maybe you have like flag or clothing flying behind them as they're running, and that motion indicates like, oh, they're going really fast. Like there's a lot of these secondary things that you have to do in visual mediums to really express what's happening. Like you can see a picture of somebody running. Maybe they have long hair and some kind of clothing. If you draw them with like I just said, long hair and a lot of clothing, but it's not flowing, it's like, oh, they're probably not running very fast. But what if they were sprinting? You'd want to draw that so like the hair is going back and the clothing, whatever, is going back, and it's like doing these visual things that show action, even though there's no animation in this, you know, this particular medium, you know. The one thing that I don't like about this is that I put an elbow here with like a bicep shape. I don't think that's appropriate. Where would I put that shape? Because I'm kind of thinking about the muscles of, if this is our joint, you know, we kind of have this muscle here already. Maybe this kind of whole bicep shape needs to be kind of two biceps. Or maybe this elbow is up higher. Like what if it was something like this? Not two elbows. Like I'll flatten the other one out. Let's see what it looks like with kind of more of an elbow shape up here. And I get rid of the other one. Again, like I kind of like what it looks like, but it doesn't make sense in real life. So it's kind of like, it's a little heartbreaking to be like, oh, I liked that part, but I'm going to get rid of it because it doesn't make sense. It's one of the tough things to do in art. Like as a teenager, I would have just been like, no, that's just what it is. And then it's, you know, it wouldn't have been as strong as an art piece. Yeah, I think I like it. I like the idea of the elbow being up here. And then we have, you know, muscles here. It's almost like got two biceps, even though this is kind of a mix of deltoids. But again, this is an alien creature. I've got to be careful not to put too much human anatomy in this, too many human rules. But when people see things, like they expect certain things anatomically to to reinforce, like, because we've seen an elbow move. We know what a bicep looks like, whether you study anatomy or not. You know that there's not going to be a muscle right here where it bends. And so you have to have those same rules apply to alien creatures like this, even creatures made out of water. And like Venny's saying, yeah, it is just water. But, you know, I think there's a certain amount of character design that if this thing with water has arms, you're going to want it to have that look that behaves like an arm, you know. It does look double jointed, and I think that was kind of their intention. Yeah, because if that's the case, maybe we put another elbow here. I like that. Maybe just less prominent. Smooth it out a little bit more. The Chaos Anatomy sheet. Chaos 6 has 2 forms? What is that? And what are those 2 forms? You talking about like the frozen ice form and the water form? Yeah, the crab-like one is the one that I know of. Oh yeah, and then it turns into like a weird hourglass shape. Like a hammer thing, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Alright, cool. I like what we've done there. I think I want to move on to other parts of the body for now. So one thing that I really don't like here is that, you know, this model kind of ended up with like a really sharp edge here. Definitely want to make that more of a transition. I'm going to really severely cut down on these parts here first. Get that a little bit flatter. So that we can transition it into that sharper shape. Here's another place where we can kind of do those V shapes that I did on the back of the other one. I think this is another good opportunity where we can have some of that design language. We'll let that flow over the surface in a nice way. I feel like this will tie it in well to my Chaos 2 design. Let these kind of fade off over time. Smaller, and then start thickening these parts up. Oh, in Sonic Zero, he turns into a shark-like form, like with a fin coming out? I didn't remember that. Ha, that'd be interesting, fandom. Take some kind of geometric shapes here to separate these parts. Pull this one out a little bit. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I love that. It looks so streamlined. It takes what was just kind of a bulbous, kind of boring design, kind of gives it waves. Because in the texture, it's kind of like a wave texture. I feel like this definitely makes it more interesting and ties it in more with what my Chaos 2 actually looks like. That base shape, of course, I'm going to refine it, but I like that. All right, thanks for being here, Tomato JP. Make a Walmart run for dinner? Nice. Oh, thank you for leaving it up. That is always appreciated. Oops. Really cut into the shape a little bit so we can get more definition with it. What do I plan to do with the tail? I don't know. I might pose it. You know, I'm going to sculpt it in just a neutral position. And then I'll experiment with how I kind of want to pose this thing. I'm not sure. Yeah, I might make the tail kind of asymmetrical, like swishing. Because it's not going to be able to be articulated. Maybe it'll rotate just like the arms rotate on Chaos 2. But yeah, I can't really do articulation with this type of material where it could go like a joint that goes up and down or anything. Thank you, Whimsy. Welcome back. Oh, cool. Thank you, Benny. I still want to make sure I have a nice silhouette here. Pulling parts of this down. Like this could be, do some more pulling down here. You know, when I look at it from this side, I see like up, step, up, step. This one has less of an up. We're gonna try to increase that. Just really think about how this looks at each angle, and I don't want to change too much of like the language of what's happening. So I think I need to flatten this part out a little bit. Just kind of saying out loud thoughts as I'm sculpting this. Now I've pushed that one too far back, so I'm kind of like, look at this spacing, look at this spacing, look at this spacing, less and less. It gets softer and softer. What's happening here, though? Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Let's do kind of the same thing for this fin over here. Sharpen it up a little bit first of all. And I'll do kind of like another, just probably a single V shape here, just to give that same idea in the sculpt. Almost like the idea of like he's swimming fast and it's kind of like water, you know, water going over the surface of something that's sticking out. It's almost like that's happening to the water in his body as he's moving. If I ever do perfect, well, I am going to do perfect chaos, but probably about this scale. Oh yeah, somebody asked exactly that same question. Probably the more adventure style design. So some of this almost looks a bit too much here, but I think it's going to look good because you see it less, especially with a transparent figure. See, it's harder to see that. So I think even though it looks like a bit much here in my eyes, might tone it down more in the model, but like for now, the thing I don't like about that is this like curve here, how it kind of goes up and this down. Okay. Let's give some more tapering shapes down here. Hydrodynamic. Yeah, I wonder if hydrodynamic is a word. Welcome, Chaos Lover. Thank you for the kind words. Oh, what's that scene from, Harry? Is it from like one of the comics or something? Well, I like the idea of having kind of like these waves of energy, not energy. Well, if you think of waves in water as energy propagating through the water, kind of having like these melding into different parts. So, this here. This work? It's coming down here. Also in here and up. I wonder if this is just too noisy or not. It's kind of like shapes that I want to flow from the head up through here. We've already got these nice lines kind of combining with all the lines from the top of it. Something I like about it and something I don't. Ah, I got you, Harry. You're right. Let's look up sharks. Yeah, here I am talking about human anatomy. Let's look up some sharks. Sharks are pretty smooth. Also, sorry if anything gory shows up while we're looking at sharks. Look at that. They've almost got kind of a wave pattern around the jaw here. And then kind of some of that same feeling as you get to the gills. Yeah, there's hardly any sharp edges on these guys. That's something to notice about sharks, is like everything kind of curves the right way. Had some bumpiness here. Like, yeah, there's like some carved ends, and I think what I'm happy about seeing here is like some of these areas where it's kind of like indented inside. I think that's something we've already been kind of doing just to try to make that watery effect, which is nice. There's definitely a lot of smoothness to it. We might not. So it's the muscularness that I'm doing might be kind of going the wrong way. I think, yeah, muscular in the arms. Maybe we should be careful of not making the body have too much detail. And I think that's a really good point. Who brought that up? Benny. I think that's a really good point, Benny, is really trying to remember, the body is based on a shark. Maybe we don't put too much detail into that. Like, yeah, you know what? I look at a shark and I look at these lines here, that doesn't scream shark to me. It screams alien to me. Or he's not necessarily an alien. Or is he? I don't know. Yeah, so it does say water creature to me, but not shark. So I think a great thing to do would be try to get rid of this bump right here. Just start smoothing this a lot. Really move that back in. Maybe keep some of the ideas of those shapes, but keep them really smooth. Oh my gosh, just keep zooming out on me. Good call. Yeah. And I definitely don't like these two lines here, whatever that's doing. Let's just kind of neutralize that. Run these back in now. Please smooth out this neck area. Keep smoothing this to get rid of those lines there. Movie The Thing. I don't want to look up any pictures of that on the stream. Some of that can get a little gory. Did I remake the cutscene where Sonic meets Chaos? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, good thought, Venny. Yeah, I found myself liking just kind of smoothing out more and more of these features. I kind of want to keep this design to connect it with Chaos too, like these cutouts up here. Yeah, let's just... I like the idea that I've sculpted on there and given it some kind of form so it's not just a blob, but then smoothing it out so you have a mixture of this form, but it's like it's got this thick shark skin all around it. Yeah, I'm gonna put articulation here in the arms. Still, it's just gonna be that, you know, the rotating like this. It's not gonna be anything special, and it's gonna be able to pop out. And then, yeah, maybe I'll make the tail rotate like this. And then probably the head, so it can turn left and right. But I'm also going to try posing this and see what options I have with posing. Let's look at pictures of Chaos 4 again. I like what they did here with a little bit of eyebrow. Yeah, that'd probably be a good place in the hip. What did I do on the head? Did I do anything special? I just kind of accentuated the eyebrows and stuff, nothing too fancy. Head. Yeah, like there's no good place that I could look at this and be like, oh yeah, it should rotate here, because I'd be cutting off parts of that. Yeah, we'll see. Could I model a pig with a crown? Physically could, yeah. Yeah, that's true, Venny. Exaggerating this prominent brow. I think I just want these to be a bit thicker. Honor a legend, huh? Yeah, I'm thinking of just kind of leaving the head smooth as it is here. Be not much to do there. I think I want to try to fix it a little bit better. I don't like that. It looks like it's a nose or something. Got some good definition there. I just kind of like that though. I think so too. Yeah, let's leave the head alone. Yeah, I guess I won't really see it perfectly well until the eyes are in there. Do that next. I'm going to add a little bit of a distinction here. This fall off between them. Oh, actually, I kind of liked it. Oh. I think that's just fine. Get some eyeballs in there. Did I not save this yet? That is so bad of me. Subtool. Let's append a sphere. Wait, where does subtool go? Kind of works with just one sphere. That's not what we want. Just this whole thing. Center where I want. Great spot. That's weird. Took me out of the tool? What? Oh, that's right. I gotta think about what part has the skeletons in it. This guy might end up being more of a statue, and in that case, I might do a little bit more posing to him than normal. Might just be able to be more of a dynamic pose with a little bit of articulation. I am really nitpicking on this. I like that for the eye. Subdivisions, delete lower. Oh, mirror? This whole thing can be merged down. Gosh. Just let me dynamesh it, I guess. Ew. Bad job. That's fine. Let me delete the other one. That was kind of a pain. Delete. Okay. We will duplicate. Then delete lower. Delete lower on the other one as well. Mirror this. And we will merge down, say okay. Check that on my phone real quick. Alright, so there's some eyes for him. I feel like he kind of too much looks like he has a nose right now, so I'm going to try to fix that up a little bit. Look a little angrier here. Definitely looks aquatic to me. Wonder if they build up more underneath the eye. I think I like that more, just more of a shape underneath because it felt a little empty beneath it. Welcome, Sparkle Wolf. Made it. That's what counts. Pretty close to done. I think you still have a headache, so I think I'm gonna be just wrapping up the sculpt, not doing any of the technical stuff on stream. I saw an image that I really liked. That's what he did. Can't I color them? Oh, color the eyes? Yeah, I can color the eyes. There's a specific way to do it, because if I just change one color, it does everything. There's something to do. Get maybe under brush. Color. Try fill object. Oh, undo the color change. It won't. Oh no! Oh, what's going on? What did I do? It looks like I colored the eyes properly. It's back to a color that we want. I think. What did I do again? Not intuitive to me. Color, fill object, and then when I select a different one, I can change that color and say fill object. Okay, there we go. I feel like I would like these eyes to kind of fill out more here. Okay. It doesn't think it's mirrorable? What? There we go. That was weird. And... oh, what is going on? I want to let me... being weird. Brush is odd. What? Some weirdness going on with the controls right now. Just moving these back into a spot that I'd like them to be to look better. Yes, good idea saving. Yeah, I keep trying to like... oh, dude. Yeah, some weird stuff is happening in the program right now. Alright. So there's something that I liked in one of the images that I saw for reference. I think it was a fan-made thing. I liked this tail that they made with like the 3 shapes coming off of it. I think that's really good. There's supposed to be bones in there. Oh, that's gonna get pretty thin, guys. Sorry, Maddie. Focusing on this right now. Yeah, so I definitely need thickness in there to make bones fit in there well. Thick it all right now. What is going on? It's like it's reversing. This is behaving bizarrely. Back face mask. Okay. Yeah, I had turned off back face masking, but it turned back on. I wonder if I must have hit hotkey on accident or something. Welcome, Pro Tyler. You got back from something, you say? I believe that is correct. I believe you are back from something. thick enough to put those bones in there. Section a little bit. See, the controls are going the opposite way that I say. This is so weird. I'm trying to tell it to go inside, but it's not. Weird. I think this will look better when it's posed. I think that's one of the things I'm not liking about this right now. I don't like how straight this is, but I think it needs to be that thick. I definitely want to pinch that in a little bit. I don't like the way it comes out thick like this, but for some reason, the tool that I would do to do that work. It only goes outward. Maybe it's because of the back face mask. Well, that was it, but it's like a good thing. I have to turn off back face mask and be able to do that. I want to pinch these edges just a little bit. They taper a little bit more. You like chaos. It'll be a little bit of time before this is ready, Harry. I have a lot of Chaos 2s to print. Yeah, that's why I give that disclaimer video out, because he is tough. And if you spill the paint on the surface, I think you can get away with like sanding that paint off. Man, there's just not able to get this curve quite right. Just trying to add some definition to this. Ooh, I do not like that I dug this. Well, actually, kind of cool that it's asymmetrical. Let's fix that. Yeah, the more big figures I make, I need different shelving. Because they're kind of a pain to fit back here. Black Doom is just sitting over there. Squid is upstairs. I need to hang Squid up here eventually. This. Pinch this in a little bit. Add. Give a little bit more of that look, tapered, multi-tiered look to this. Too much. Oh yeah, I like that once it got smoothed. How would I make Emerald? I'd probably do it the same way I made Gemerald. By making it out of a Mega Man figure. Need more water, but I think I'm getting pretty close to done. My headache hasn't gone away, so I might be getting close to a good stopping point. I think there's going to be a lot of adjustments that I want to make to this off stream as I look at it more. Oh no. I feel like it's got a good mix of being smooth in places and then bumpy in other places. That alien bumpiness that I've been doing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna work on that tail a bit more later. I feel like there's work still to be done on this tail. feel like there's something I want to add to the head. I'm not sure yet. Like when I look at this, I just kind of think, what if there's something like this? Something there, a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe just leave it smooth. Yeah, this is where I'm going to leave it for now. And I definitely feel like there's something I still want to do to this, but I'm happy with it. It's just I don't feel done with it. I think I might want to taper off this tail more. I keep saying I'm done, and then for that I'm going to stop. But then I'm like, well, maybe I want to... I don't feel like this goes into a corner enough here. Let this taper more, you know. This more to a point. I think, Benny, I think Malamations is joking about that, but remember Malamations, I don't want jokes that people might construe as real, because people do genuinely worry about you. But now that you're talking more about it, it seems like you're being serious. Yeah, this is kind of like that other time where I said you really got to talk to parents about it, and if they won't do anything about it, contacting the authorities. But it's like not the one qualified to have to tell you that stuff, and if you're joking about it, then I would rather jokes like that not happen. If somebody's actually hitting you in school, an adult is hitting you in school, like it kind of... Okay, let's get serious a minute. If an adult is hitting you in school, Mally, you have to... this is not the place to chat about you. Like, that's... I didn't read it fully. What did he hit you with? Okay, that you can yeah, you're talking about him physically hurting you. So I am going to take this seriously. Mr. Peppiment. I assume that's one of your teachers. See, when I glanced at what you wrote, I thought you were making a joke about him hitting you with a candy cane or something, because I saw the word peppermint. Oh, a candy. Oh, you did talk about a metal candy cane shaped. Malamations, what I'm reading up where you typed at 429, that sounds like a joke, but then you're continuing it as if it's serious. All right, we are taking it seriously. You gotta like figure out like child protective services in your state. You got to contact that number if your parents won't do something with that. If he's actually hitting you with a crowbar, then you got to really sort that out. If you're telling your parents that and they won't do anything, I mean, there's a disconnect, because but we do have to talk about it. If you bring up serious things in chat, it's like if I don't talk seriously about it, it's almost on me, like I'm letting this thing happen to a kid, you know? I mean, it's not my responsibility, but it's like, you know, that's what I talk about when I say, you know, like this channel is where I'm facilitating this chat, but we're having this, you know, you're saying some pretty serious things, that a teacher is hitting you with a metal crowbar. I have to very seriously respond to that. I can't make you do it, but like I, as an adult and the person who's running the stream, I gotta say that you have to do this. You know what I'm saying? It puts me in an odd position. Well, we were just about done, so that kind of... I don't mean to end it that way, but it's like if something happens to you and there's like this history of you chatting about it, and I didn't stop to say things about it. That's why I'm stopping the music and taking it seriously. But also no Sparkle. It's not a downer to end. I mean, let's call it a bummer. I don't want Mally to feel like we're calling him a downer. We want to help him, but we also want to make sure he's taking the right steps to help himself. You know, and so nobody talk badly on ZBrush. This is like ZBrush's screensaver. It brings up other art. Sometimes it's nude art, so it's like I worry about my streams. It's showing up somebody's art that is not appropriate. Yeah, so I'm at a loss of words. We won't drag this out, but yeah, you gotta you do need to figure that out in your real life for sure. And that's why I'm taking it seriously, is because that's a serious allegation if you're saying one of your teachers is hitting you with a crowbar. Now let's get the music back on. I think I am. I was just about to wrap up anyway. I think this is a good time to let this simmer. There's something I don't like about the tail. I think there's certain lines here that are just not working out, and the cutting looks a little unprofessional. There's something still needing done about the tail, and I feel like either other things need to become more smooth, or the head needs more detail. I'm gonna look at this for a long time and make some decisions, but I'm really happy with where we ended up so far with this. Thicker tail, maybe? Yeah, maybe if I can work with this to get more of a curve here instead of like we have this little bump here. Yeah, so there's some work to be done, but I'm really happy with where we got on it. Do I have a favorite Chaos form? I think Chaos 4 is my favorite Chaos form. Let's go ahead and read out the names. Again, Streamlabs does not show everybody. It only shows from, like, let's see, from 239 today. So that is Tomato is JP, Finley Wolf, Supersonic Squad, Harry the Man, Platimac, Malamations, Pichu Sonic, Fandom Lover, YBZ, MS Paint, Quake Angel 2001. Pink GameCube was in here earlier. I don't think she's in the chat that Streamlabs has shown me. Do you remember that though? Oh no, Pink GameCube was chatting during this portion. Votable Globe, Daisy Garcia, Benny, Whimsy, Sonic Plush and Making Plushies, Chaos Lover 12, Spark Wolf 404, Pro Tyler Adventures, TTZ the Fleeble Broxian, interesting name, and Chaotix Fire. Well, thank you everybody for being here, and I'll keep you guys updated on this, and I'm going to be very busy with all the Chaos pre-orders, making those, but I'm still going to try to get art out during that time. Oh, and Gary the Snail, you got in just in time for me to you didn't ruin the stream, guys. I want to make it clear, I had to get serious about that, but it didn't ruin the stream. We had a great time. And I don't want anybody to feel like they've done anything wrong. I just had to get serious about it because serious things were said. And no, don't leave for 4. See, that's when it turns into a worse thing. Is Malamations. I don't want you to isolate yourself. I still want you around here. It's all good, guys. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend.